My name is Waddlemeyer, Gosalyn Waddlemeyer. I'm here to tell you a story about a blue cheeky tank engine named Thomas who gets to have an adventure on the Magic Railroad. If you don't know what that is, the Magic Railroad is a magical railroad as imagined by Ermintrude and Brian, my adoptive parents, and was operated by Lady and Terry, the two lost steam engines at Muffle Mountain. I believe that most folks like yourselves understand that on a train journey, great adventure may never be very far away, and that long after the sound of a train whistle has vanished, its romance will be safe in every living being's heart, whatever age, whatever the time. Most folks are happy to know this. Sadly, a few are not, which is a pity because that's all it takes to cause a lot of trouble to some of the most precious things in life. So that's why you should listen to what I say as I tell you a story. This story, unlike any other stories, is a special one. This story is about trains, folks who were far apart, and a magic railroad that brought them together as they were meant to be. Every story, like a railroad, has its heroes. Meet Thomas. He's our number one hero. Along with his friends, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Fooey, the four ducklings of the McDuck family, alongside their friends Webby, Lena, and Violet Sabruing, but he's running a little late today. This is the island of Sodor, where Thomas and his friends live. The magic here is closely linked with a special universe in the story. Everything runs smoothly here, under the authority of Sir Topham Hatt, of course. Mr. ZBD, well, he's the Jack in the Box wizard with a sparkle, and he knows Thomas well. He lives at the other end of his own universe. You can see the land from far away across oceans of time, in which oceans don't literally go time traveling anyway. You can always see it up and over Muffle Mountain and hidden deep in the valley in is his hometown, the Village of Happiness. Nobody in the valley or village knew that in Muffin Mountain there was a secret that Brian shared only with Ermintrude when they were kids, and shared with Dylan and Dougal as well. Like Mr. Rusty, Blue sensed danger. He didn't want either ZBD or her master, Mr. Grimsdale, to leave the village. Meanwhile, on Sodor, the engines were cheerful, confident, and determined not to be bullied by Diesel 10. Only James, who now felt very useful to, was complaining. Next morning, Blue traveled with Mr. Grimsdale to the big station. Blue was unsure that I could help my father and that together, me and Papa could help ZBD get his sparkle back and prevent Zbad from what he would be up to next, but only if I met someone at the village first. Blue was feeling pleased with her. She had put me on the wrong train, but she had done so far the right reasons. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, Duck had just arrived at Carston Town goods yard. But as he puffed through the yards, he couldn't help the feeling that he was being watched. As the mysterious sound of the two lost engines echoed through the night on Muffle Mountain, the engines on Sodor had the both of them very much in their thoughts. Diesel 10 was in a dump, but the stream engines were right back on track. ZBD was doing his best to keep me cheerful. He knew I was worried about being late for my parents. And so that is where our story ends. As our friends return to their homes, to the village and the island of Sodor, and with their controller back, they all lived happily ever after. You're welcome, my young Brian. Thanks, Hunker. I guess I have to get the little one to bed, huh? Good night, my little Brian. Your grandparents and I did form a great bonding during the events of the story. I also received help from Magenta's great grandmother, Blue. May all three of their souls rest in peace. Yes, Brian? What do you mean? Yes, my son. Lady and Terry? Well, they didn't stay on Sodor. They went back to work on the Magic Railroad, and as long as there was harmony on the island of Sodor and plenty of magic at the village, they would still be alive to keep it all going. I'm sorry, Brian. There's one part of the story I have yet to reveal to you. It all started with how I stayed with your father and my father, who was your grandfather, for the next few days. And it was where you and my father fell in love. We saw ZBD and Perry every day, and I would come back every summer to see how the connection between the island of Sodor and the Magic Railroad. I became a railroad engineer just like your grandparents, and it was kind of what I really wanted to be, following my experience of Sodor. Oh, you'd love it there, Brian. It's so harmonious, and the trains really do talk, and there are anthropomorphic animals. Maybe you'll have a chance someday. And now it's my time for me to finish my story. Back at the village, the magic was restored, and ZBD returned to protect the village from any further harm. And he was also went back to planting bellflowers. Sometimes it all it takes is a little train to remind us that magic is timeless and always worth the hope of its existence. And that little train today was Thomas. My name is Gosalyn Waddlemeyer, and this was and is my greatest adventure at the island of Sodor. And so it comes to the happy ending of our story, and it's time for all of us to go home just like Thomas.